Next on deck with Tim Black.
People that are criticizing Bernie, what did he say that was wrong? He said, basically, people being left behind in their economy. Their dreams are going away. Senator Bernie Sanders put out a critique of the Democratic Party. It was not accepted. It was not warmly received. You know what I'm saying? People got pissed off. They don't want to hear Bernie Sanders speak no truth. No. They don't want to hear the truth, man. Because the Democratic Party wants to sit back and sulk and complain and cry in their donor money.
Look, I've been running around the country doing my best to see that Kamala is our next president.
We didn't win. Well, we got money, though, but we didn't win. I think all of them are on some type of suicide watch.
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
You know, I get it. You know, it's not good. But you know what? You live to fight another day, Nance. Now, once you sit down somewhere and give somebody else a shot at being corrupt and driving the car in the ditch for a while, won't you give it a break. Let someone else take the wheel.
You gotta see me that one.
My girl just lost a day ago. Like, damn.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, you know, they don't love you when you're down, baby. This is not your friends. This is show business. So yeah, she lost. See ya. I don't know what people thought was gonna happen. They erasing that joint quick fast. She may still be modeling for it.
And as a journalist, I hear you about girding ourselves for this moment. As a human, I deleted Twitter today as an act of self-preservation.
This is how lame they are, Johnson. They think that does something. I deleted my Twitter. See, these are the same people that get pissed off at you and they try to hurt your feelings by saying, I'm unsubscribing. These Democrats are a bunch of Karens, man. They make Democrats, look, I know some Democrats that aren't Karens, but there's a lot of Democrats that are Karens. Look at this. Her thing is, I'm going to get off Twitter to preserve myself. Rich as hell. Made all the money. Lying to people on a daily basis, gaslighting people about Trump. It's going to bring back slavery. He's going to sell us out to China. He's got a man crush on Putin, and then he's Hitler. They've been selling that stat for at least a year. And that didn't work. It wasn't adequate enough to scare people to vote for policies that weren't working for them. Okay? And now her way to deal with that is not to be a part of the change. It's not to fix anything. It's to get away from criticism. Yeah, it's to get away from hearing the truth. And people say, Tim, what can the Democrats do to fix it? Accepting why you lost might be a good idea. And see if they run.
As a human, I deleted Twitter today as an act of self-preservation.
I think if this campaign is reducible to one moment, we're in a 65% wrong track country. The country wants something different. And she's asked, as so often the case in a friendly audience on The View, how would you be different than Biden? That's the one question that you exist to answer. All right? That is it. That's the money question. That's the one you want. That's the one that everybody wants to know the answer to. And you freeze. You literally freeze and say, well, I can't think of anything. And once you get in it, so we said 65% want something different. We are just not going to give in to them, but maybe the odiousness of Trump combined with the Dobbs decision, we can overcome it. Well, we didn't overcome it. But when we go back and history unearths this, it's going to be right there on The View. And I think her name was Sunny Houston or whatever. Answer.
Folks, look, James Carville, man, I disagree with some things he says, and some things he be spot on like a mug, man. Bullseye. Bullseye. And I believe this is why Sonny is so upset. She's part of what destroyed Kamala. But Sonny, it's not your fault, man. Kamala is just grossly inadequate as a candidate. She was grossly unprepared for this moment. And that's because when people hand you stuff, you ain't got to work out. Yeah, check this out, guys. Look, as much as I want a six-pack, if I woke up tomorrow with a six-pack, it'd be gone in 2 months. Because I'm not eating right. I ain't up running. I'm up here doing this all day, right? I don't have a personal trainer. I don't got my diet clean. So it would go back. I would go back. I'd get a big stomach again. I try to cover it. But look, here's the thing. This is why I point that out. Not to make this point. You gave Kamala Harris the VP slot. She didn't earn it. You gave Kamala Harris the Democratic nomination. She didn't earn that. You can't give her the presidency. So she loses it all. She can't take it to the next level because she didn't have to earn it. So she didn't get her reps up. So Sonny Hostin asked Kamala the question, and in front of the whole entire world, it showed that Kamala wasn't doing sit-ups, she wasn't eating clean, and she did not have a regimen. Now, I played this yesterday, but I'm going to keep playing it because if I had to boil down to one thing, just like James Carville said, I've said this before, if you watch this show, you know, this to me was a dagger for anybody who was on the fence who heard it.
That's the question. And that's the most devastating answer you could imagine.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. Yeah. Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet. You asked.
See? I don't know why that switched up so quick. Was that how it switched? I don't remember. But yeah. 66% of Americans say we were on the wrong track. And when she had an opportunity to speak to it and say, yeah, there's a couple things I would do differently. Joe Biden is an amazing person, an amazing leader, and I learned so much from him, but we're not the same person, and there's a couple things I do. Number one, you got to have that list, baby. When 60%, over almost 70%, when 66% of Americans say, we going the wrong way, you got to be able to say, hey, well, I would take a left, or I would take a right, or I would buck at you. Something, you don't say, I think we should just keep going the way we're going. I just keep going the way we go. That doesn't work anywhere. It wouldn't work anywhere. If you were in a bad relationship with somebody, you met a new woman, you're talking to her, you're saying, hey, I had this bad relationship I was in, and things just didn't work out, and she was like person, she never listened to me, she wouldn't hear me out, she'd get loud, she embarrassed me in public, just annoying, but everything, you know what I'm saying? We had problems, just couldn't work it out. And she'd say, yeah, I'd do the same thing. You get up so quick, you get arm rash trying to get up from that table. You get knee rash getting up from that table. You might dislocate your hip. See? That's what Kamala did. And instead of people in the Democratic Party embracing it and recognizing, hey, that probably was a funky question, funky answer. And as much as I criticize Sonny Hostin, and I do and I will continue to criticize her, that ain't her fault that Kamala did not have an answer for that. Sonny thought, of course, this is a softball question. Anybody competent is going to have an answer for this. Like, there is no way she can't answer this. And she couldn't answer it because she didn't have anything. Because she really does not have a real plan. So when people say, oh, the Democrats, they were looking out for you, they had all this stuff they were going to do. When I hear Roland complaining about Bernie Sanders critiquing the Democratic Party, what about this, Roland? What about this, Roland? If 66% of the country If they say, hey, we don't like the way the country's going, how could you win an election when you don't have a new vision? When you won't say, hey, I'm going to separate myself from the things they don't want. Instead, the elitists who think they're smarter, they think they're worthy, more worthy, they think they're better than you, and they think if you disagree with them, something's wrong with you. Roland needs to be calling that out. Instead, he wants to call out Bernie Sanders. The Democratic Party has abandoned working class people. Would find that the working class has abandoned them. First, it was the white working class, and now it's Latino and Black workers as well. When you say life is hard, we talk about prices are too high. These are the expenses that they have. And the money not adding up, the wages not increasing, the standard of living going down. What did he say that was wrong? Yeah, Roland, what did he say that was wrong? People that are criticizing Bernie, what did he say that was wrong? He said, basically, people being left behind in their economy. Their dreams are going away. They can't articulate really what Bernie said that was incorrect. They just said Bernie shouldn't say it because Bernie's a senator and he helped Biden. Now, I agree. That's true. Look, guys, I was a person who supported Bernie years ago, 2016. I supported him. And I also supported him in 2020 for a while. I switched. I had to leave Bernie alone for these types of reasons. That don't make Bernie wrong, though. It just means Bernie didn't go far enough for me. He wasn't going far enough standing up for Black people. That's what it was. But Bernie's right about this. I don't have to agree with everything he says to agree with this. And this is one of the reasons why I liked him to begin with. Not on everything, but he was talking about real people stuff. He was talking about really what people are going through, what regular folks deal with, and what excites them, what scares them, what their struggles are. He wasn't on some pronouns and bathrooms and we got to be more polite and be politically correct and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, funding wars and not helping poor people. Meanwhile, not giving us a way out of mass incarceration, like not giving us a Black hate crime bill. He failed me on a couple of things. But moreover, more of the working class, hurting class, people struggling, he always talked about money. See, when he talked about money, I listened, because if I can't get you to respect me, I can't worry about that. I got to worry about if I got money to respect myself. I got to make sure I got money to keep my family indoors. I got to make sure economically I'm solvent and I'm stable so I can provide a home for my grandbabies. I got to make sure we good. And so that's what Bernie's always been on, economics. So now they're chastising Bernie. They're calling him out. They're saying Bernie's wrong. Now, some are saying he's wrong. Some are agreeing with him. I have a hard time disagreeing with him because he's right. I saw a clip of Roland Martin. I can't play it because he's petty. You play his content, he tries to strike your channel. Roland Martin was yelling at a woman on his channel who's a repeat person, a friend of the show. But because she disagreed with him, because she agrees with Bernie, yeah, working class people were basically left out of the Kamala campaign. She had that speech where she brought up her mother and middle class or whatever. But family, when people walked away from listening to Kamala, it was about reproductive rights, which was actually abortion rights. That's what she really was talking about. It was about abortion and some crap about saving democracy. Nobody wants to save something they don't have. We don't have a damn democracy anyway. We got a bunch of rich people that run the rest of this crap. Most people figure that out by now. And those who don't figure it out don't have a name for it. They don't call it oligarchy. They just know poor people get screwed. That's what they know. So, meanwhile, Trump was talking about the border. He was talking about money. He was talking about jobs. He was talking about things that people paid attention to. Guess what? When 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, do the math. Whose message is actually going to carry the day? It's not rocket science, man. It's kind of basic.
It should come as no great surprise that a Democratic Party which has abandoned working class people would find that working class has abandoned them. First, it was the white working class, and now it is Latino and black workers as well. While the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change. And they're right. Joining us now, one of our stalwarts, senior NBC News national politics reporter Jonathan Allen. John, thanks again for joining us this morning. So let's talk about Senator Sanders' criticism there. How did the Democrats take these working class voters, including voters of color, for granted? And talk to us about what the Trump campaign sees as his appeal to that same group.
It's a great question, Jonathan. I mean, first of all, I think Sanders is largely right. Obviously the numbers show that he's right. On the other hand, he was leading Joe Biden's agenda from the Senate. He was writing budgets. It's an odd person to make the criticism that Democrats abandoned the working class, because he was right there at every step of the way. In terms of what they're going to need to do to get back working class voters, particularly the voters of color that they lost, I mean, I think they have to start from what is it that those voters actually want. Not what is it that the politicians want that they can sell to those voters, but what is it that those voters want? If you look at the two campaigns, you had the most Trump voters said their biggest issue was the economy. Second most was immigration. For Harris voters, it was democracy and abortion. The two candidates were talking about completely different things. And to Bernie Sanders' point, in most elections, the candidate that's winning on the economy is the one that is winning the election.
Bam! It ain't rocket science, guys. It's that. It's like it's always going to be. We live in a capitalistic society where money counts. Hell, man, there's some of y'all who won't drive across town and see a family member because it costs too much money for gas. It's some of y'all who are saying, "Hey, look, we ain't gonna have no Christmas this year." How about we just, you keep your money, I keep my money, and we just, call it even. That's economics, man. That's reality of what people are going through. I'm the only person that ever did that. I'm the only person that had to say, look, baby, Mrs. Black got me one year, too. I remember that. She got me good. I had already got her stuff. She was like, hey, baby, what if we just, skip Christmas this year? Like, hey, I already got your stuff. She got me good, but that was years ago. But anyway, that's the economic situation that people find themselves in, man. That's real talk. You don't think that trumps this stuff about orange man evil? Man, I ain't gotta like you. I ain't gotta have a beer with Trump or any president. In fact, folks, be real. You more likely to get hit by a bolt of lightning while listening to some Al Green while you driving in a convertible GTO buck ass naked before you actually have a beer with a president. So we ain't stop this, I gotta like somebody. I think people having this argument trying to defend, you ain't gotta like Trump. Policy. How will it impact your life? How will this help you live indoors, help you raise your kids, protect your family, build your community? What's going to be better for you? And all rhetoric aside, all bad things, all sound bites taken out of context by corporate media don't change who's better for that. And no amount of, I'm speaking and feeling good and she's empowered. Oh, she's empowered and she's going to break the glass ceiling. No amount of that is going to put food on your table. I'm disappointed that there are some people, you know who you are, and some of you know some people like this. It may not be you, but you know people like this. They seemed a lot more concerned with symbolism than they're concerned with actual real lifeism. I'm talking about rentism, mortgageism, baby need a new pair of shoes-ism. I'm talking about electric bill-ism. I don't know about you, but true, our electric bill don't play. Ain't nobody, look, we can't be like Pepco, listen, we're kind of short, but hey, go Kamala. You know what I'm saying? So, click. Because nobody wants to hear that you can't pay bills. No one's gonna listen to you. And this good feeling that you have will not translate to clearing up any of your debt or keeping you indoors. You can't go down to the tenants association. You can't go down to court and avoid that eviction notice because Kamala got a new job. It'd be a black woman on the judge will tell you your ass got 30 days. Look over her glasses just like this and she'll say 30 days. Boom.